Hey, what's up Godzilla fans? Samson West here, and I'm going to bring you a collection video. Yeah, woohoo! It's been a long time since I've done one of these because I have been away from the YouTube thing for quite some time. But anyway, here we go. I actually rearranged all of my shelves. Instead of them in chronological order, I have now put all my figures in order from favorite movie to least favorite movie. So don't judge, I'm allowed to have my own opinion. Let's start it off with Godzilla vs. Gigan. Here are some of my most treasured figures that I have. My very favorite of all time being the Marmot Kit Godzilla 1972. That one is sick. I'm never selling that ever, ever, ever. My grandfather bought that for me as a gift. So rest his soul. Thank you very much, Granddaddy. Now, moving along, we got lots of cool figures, of course. You can recognize some of these. If not, leave me a comment in the comment box. You can ask me what's what at what minute and second. So yeah, moving along, there is a custom puppet I had made by Chris Elchison. He got that to me at G-Fest this past 2014. Pretty cool, 1972 puppet. Comes with a custom 1972 stand right there. You can see that. Pretty cool, pretty badass. Moving along to second favorite movie. You got Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. That was the first movie I ever saw. Don't know why it's not my favorite movie, but it's not. Godzilla vs. Gigan is. Got some pretty sick figures, X Plus being the best. Favorite figures, little custom pieces that came with the Rick Boys. You got the King Caesar statue, sorry about the shadow, and the, I can't remember what the name of the aliens are. Third planet black hole aliens, whatever. Moving along, we got some more X Plus. Godzilla 1973, a Jet Jaguar back there. There's my Jet Jaguar cluster. You got Giga Brains, Marmot Power Babies, Bandai, and a little tiny Bullmark figure. More X Plus figures make up my entire Godzilla vs. Megalon lineup. Thank God for that Giga Brain, Gigan, excuse me, Gigan 1973. That is another huge treasure in my collection. He is so sick because, well, he was just born that way. Here we go, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, woohoo! Another one of my first movies I ever got as a child. And of course, that is my custom, what do you call that? Falshwin Kit Ebera, whatever you want to call that. It's a vinyl kit that was put together and custom painted by kaiju.com. He did a great job at it. I love that thing. David Dopko rescued that figure when it had a broken horn on it. Thank you, David. You're going to get many thanks in this video for custom stuff. Now, for the most badass lineup of all time, you have the Destroy All Monsters lineup, all made by X Plus. Whoa! Special thanks to David, yet again, for this custom Manda 1968. This thing is badass. Badass. Look at that. It's perfect. And it fits in great scale with all the 25 centimeter figures here. Looks great. Moving along. Like my sound effects? Yeah, I do. Booyah. Okay, here we go. This is my not X Plus Destroy All Monsters lineup. These are consistent of Bandai figures, some YMSFs, and one little Marmot Power Baby figure, that little Mothra larva right there. You're going to see her twin in a little bit. Moving along to Godzilla 2000. Yes, I shall admit that Godzilla 2000 is one of my favorite movies of all time. Went and saw that in theaters with my grandfather back in 1999. Or no, 2000, excuse me. It came out in Japan in 99, came out in America in 2000. And oh, look at that beautiful 30 centimeter Godzilla 2000. Isn't that glorious? Isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? All right. Moving along, you got Godzilla's Revenge. Guilty pleasure movie. Gotta say, I love it. The battle between Godzilla and Gabra, it's just great. Here we go. You got Terror of Mechagodzilla. Pretty much all Bandai figures there, except for these two glorious 25 centimeter figures. Godzilla custom, another custom piece by David Eric Topko, is the very so awesome fixer-upper on the Godzilla 1975. His lip was all jacked up and he just didn't look right, and he made him have the Godzilla 1974-esque look. Godzilla 64, it's Mothra versus Godzilla, na, 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 na. Yeah, you can't deny this is great. I don't have that many figures in this lineup. I need some more. I need a 30 centimeter Godzilla to go right there. Right there. Rich Iso, I hate you. You have like the best one of all time. You too, Tim Crane, I hate you as well. But yeah, you got some great stuff right there. Rich Iso, I can thank him for helping me acquire this 25 centimeter figure with the two little Mothra larva twins. I don't have Mothra twins. If I had Mothra twins, then I'd have some fairy figures, but I don't. Well, I do, but it came with the Tokyo SOS Toys Dream Project, whatever, and that's not on the shelf. Moving along to GMK. That is a sick movie. It's artistic. It's you know, it's great. Some people whine about it. Ooh, it's too weird. I don't like it. Oh, screw you. This is a great movie, all in all. Now, Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. I only have 2 figures to represent for that movie. It is the USA Godzilla X Plus 64-2. And here's the other Marmot Par Babies Mothra larva I was talking about. Her sister is over there with my 6-inch Destroy All Monsters lineup. Okay, what is this right here? Can anybody guess? That's right, Invasion of the Astro Monsters. Or, for some of you out there, it is Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. Yeah, but no, I call it Invasion of the Astro Monsters because that is the proper title. I got this really cool P-1 spaceship that came with a Marmot Par Baby Godzilla 65. I acquired that years ago, but I sold it because I didn't need it, but I had to keep the ship. X Plus strikes again. This is the X Plus 25 centimeter Godzilla 71. It's so awesome. It was one of my first X Plus figures. I got it at my first G-Fest, as a matter of fact. And I got the Rick Boy version so I could have the eye patch and the regular arms, the not egg holding arms. And Rick Boy 30 centimeter Hedra with eye patch and little itty bitty flying Hedra. That's great. And yeah, I got some minis throughout. You might see these while I'm doing the video. Little tiny minis that are great. I think they're made by Bandai. All right. Here we are representing the non-Godzilla Toho movies. You have Baragon from Frankenstein Conquers the World. It's an underrated movie. Not many people watch it. And if you haven't, you gotta go see it right now. Rich Iso will brag about that movie, and for a very good reason. It's very good. It's a great movie. It's one of the greatest monster fights of all time. It really brings out the evil in Baragon. Speaking of evil, here is War of the Gargantuous figures, Sanda and Gyra. These are X Plus figures that were redistributed by Diamond. And they did a great job on them. Aside from the paint, which kind of has a Crayola crayon look to the face, especially on Gyra there. Look at that, not much detail. Detail on the figures, great. Detail on the paint, not so great. King Kong versus Godzilla. Gotta love it. It's the first matchup that was actually just pretty kick-ass. And yeah, aside from not having a 30 centimeter X Plus Godzilla 62, I got some good stuff, I think. I especially like the fact that this Memorial Box Godzilla right here and this Raymundo Kong are in scale with each other, because Godzilla was definitely taller than Kong. These two, not so much. He's too much taller than this Kong. Alright everybody, here's some favorites for most of you. I know that I'm kind of giving it a low score here, but yes, Gojira, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, whatever you want to call it. That is a classic. I am more into monsters, fighting monsters, so that's why it's not on the top list of all my favorite, my favorite movies, but it's still a classic, and I love it for what it is. Back to the monster on monster action. You got Son of Godzilla, the birth of the ugliest son in the universe. You got right here the X Plus 25 centimeter Godzilla 67 with the Rick Boy exclusive piece, the Minya 67. And right here you can see I have the Marmot Par Babies Kamacuras set. Problem is somebody did something devastating and broke one of the Kamacuras heads. Or not the head's not broken, just that little piece right there, one of his antennas. I have the antenna, it's right there, but I can't fix it because I kind of messed it up more when I tried to fix it. Back there, oh sorry, shadow, kind of hard to see. Back there is the Rick Boy piece that came with the X Plus Kumonga that is up there with the Destroy All Monsters lineup. That is a Kamacuras all wrapped up in Reb. Okay, yeah, sure Sam, that makes sense. Moving along to the Heisei films, representing, we got Godzilla vs. Destroya. Yes, very emotional, very just emotionally driven movie. You gotta love Godzilla vs. Destroya. It was the finale it's the final movie that Godzilla from the 90s is in. He dies and passes on the torch to his son. and his son carries on to become Godzilla 2000. You got to read into that, but that is actually the truth. The junior there becomes Godzilla 2000. Godzilla vs. Biollante, another great Heisei movie, and it's awesome. You got to rewatch it if you haven't seen it before. It's very artsy in a way, so some of you are kind of like, this is boring. Where's the monster fighting? No, you really need to watch and listen and learn. It's a great movie, great film. Same with the next one in the line. You got Godzilla 1984, Godzilla Returns, Godzilla 85, whatever you want to call it. 30 centimeter X plus Godzilla 84. Gotta be one of the best figures in the 30 centimeter line. Not in height, but in sculpture. It is the best looking because, well, it just is. The 25 centimeter figure does not look as good as this one does. This one just looks phenomenal. And if you get the Rick Boy piece, you have the giant sea louse. Who can say they have a giant sea louse figure? Not unless you got the Rick Boy this piece. That's right. All right, some of you people out there are going to give me some hate, but yes, Godzilla 2014 is a movie that I did enjoy, and he is in my list of top movies. Well, not top movies, because I'm like way down the line, but it is good. I can put it above some of the Heisei films, because Heisei is not really my style. I don't know what I like. I like everything. It's really hard for me to sit here and talk about how I like some Godzilla movies less than others, because some movies, I don't hate any of them. I just like some more. Which brings me back to the Heisei film. Millennium films. Okay, there you go. Millennium films. We got Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Both Bandai figures and a little miniature Bandai. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Tokyo SOS lineup. Before, you heard me mention that I had the Toys Dream Project set. I have this Godzilla. I don't know why I don't have him next to the Mechagodzilla he comes with, but it's this Godzilla with a different shade of blue for the spines in the back instead of silver like this one. And the Mechagodzilla with that screwed up eye right there. He has the eye that got whacked out, which this figure actually makes more sense. Mechagodzilla did not do the drill hand attack until after his eye got knocked out by Godzilla. So the figures, the 9-inch ones or the 6-inch ones that don't have a knocked out eye and it has a drill hand, that doesn't make any sense. That does not make sense. And then you got the twin Mothras, one with freckles and one without freckles on the head. She has such beautiful skin. She is proactive. And this guy didn't. He's stupid. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. All right, enough said. Moving on to Godzilla Raids Again. It is an underrated movie. I don't wish to put it in one of my least favorite lists, like as in this is a movie that's one of my not favorites, but I think when I was arranging my shelf, I thought to myself, what movie would I put in above the other? And that's how I got down to the bottom few movies. It's like, which one would I prefer to watch? And yes, I don't hate this movie, but I just don't enjoy it as much. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about how much I dislike movies. Let's just talk about the figures. Great figures. Bandai. X Plus. Booyah. Here we go. Godzilla versus SpaceGodzilla. More Bandais. Bandai SH Monster Arts. Only one I have. No SH Monster Arts in my collection, really. I can't afford them and X Plus. Plus, for the price you got to pay for SH Monster Arts, it's kind of not worth it, in my opinion. Godzilla versus Mothra. Not Battle for Earth. That does not exist. Rich Iso clued me in on that. That does not exist. No. It's just Godzilla vs. Mothra. That's it. Battle for Earth is something that America put as a title on it. This is actually a model kit right here, the Godzilla 1992 that I have. It's, I think it's also a foul showing kit figure, just like the Ebura that I have up top. Everything else, Bandai, Bachelor Larva, Mothra, Bachelor Adult. And then we come on to the Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah figures. They're all Bandai. These two are from the Memorial Box set, 50th Anniversary Memorial Box. And like I said, I was talking about minis before. I forgot to point out some of the minis. Sorry. Here we go. Mini Godzilla Raids Again. Mini Godzilla vs. SpaceGodzilla. Pretty cool. Mini Godzilla raping Godzilla vs. Mothra. And Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, where he's getting all choked out and foamy. So those are cool. Now on to one of my least favorite movies. I still enjoy it kind of for what it is, but it's not one of my favorites. Godzilla Final Wars. Yes, it's pretty cool, but it's not good enough. It's kind of weird that I say that, because I have more Godzillas in the Final Wars setup than I do anywhere else. Now let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I got 6 of these. I don't know if I have 6 of the same Godzilla anywhere else. No, I do not. It's just that, I don't know, I had to have as many as possible since there was a lot of different monsters that he fought in that movie. Here we go, representing the monsters that he fought. The majority of these are Marmot Monster Heaven figures. Kamanga, Kamacuras, then we got Bandai and Garrison Rodan, of course. You guys know this, but I'm still pointing it out because I can. And then back to Marmot Monster Heaven again is Ebirah. I think the only monster I don't have is Hedra. Oh, and King Caesar. Those are 2 figures that they didn't have accurate representations in figure form. I really wish I had those, but no. But back to the Bandai again. We got Sawed Gigan, Flaming Mothra, and Monster X. Oh, not and. Monster X and Kaiser Ghidorah. Pretty badass figures. I like all of them. It's not, the movie may not be great, but the designs of the monsters are kick-ass. Mr. Wakasa did a great job on that. Here's to the final few figures that I have. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Not 2. It's not called 2. Richiso clued me in on that also. It's just Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. But the 90s version. I can't talk right now. I'm too excited about talking about toys because, well, there's so many of them. And it's not that Pacific Rim is my least favorite out of all the movies in the kaiju universe. It's just that this was the only appropriate place I thought to put him. Last, just because. Now, let's see if I can back out appropriately to show you the whole thing. I can't tell what I'm doing because I'm using a little itty-bitty GoPro camera, and there's no screen on it, so excuse me if I'm not showing off the whole shelf. But that is my Godzilla corner in my whole room. Got the TV right there, listening to some John Newman. He's badass. His music's pretty great. I like it a lot. But yep, Godzilla collection right there. Bam! Actually, no, that's Rich's phrase. Mine's booyah. Booyah! That's it. That's my collection video for this time. It's not as good as my last one, I know. And I talk too much and it's much longer. But I just kind of had to talk about each individual figure, each setup or whatever, because they're all unique. And some figures had to be talked about more than others. With all that being said, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. And for now, sayonara, everybody.